Hello, and welcome to Rotation Watch. With Reign of Jafar coming, so is set rotation. In this series, I like to look at the current meta deck to give some insight into how they work and how the rotation might change them. Today, we'll be looking at Chernadog, a rather unique deck in the current meta. Chernadog is a rather unique deck, and it could be called an aggro deck, but it's also a self-mill deck. The deck revolves around two characters, Chernabog, Evildoer as a finisher, and Tramp, Street Smart Dog as a setup. The deck plan is to flood out the board with cheap characters that can also quest early, which help them to play a Tramp much cheaper to draw and discard a bunch of characters, allowing them to play Chernabog for a very discounted cost. While the core deck often varied, the deck philosophy remained the same. Any character can be played in the deck as long as they are efficiently cheap enough to play, push you either toward Tramp by drawing cards or sticking on the board, or toward Chernabog by discarding, and bonus if they provide additional effect. To the end of flooding the board, the deck runs somewhere between 14 to 16 one-cost character to allow the engine to start moving, and followed by mostly low-curve characters with the exception of Tramp and Chernabog, the namesake of the deck. But the deck isn't the most flashy, with many of its cards being uncommon or common. It is very quick and resilient. On the Emerald side of the deck, characters like Cursed Merfolk, Lady, and Tramp Enterprising Dog allow for early game value, while Tramp also double as a combat trick later on when you have a full board. The surprisingly good character from the Emerald side is actually the new Yasma, as she actually field double or even triple function. She provides a present on the board for relatively low cost. She can draw you card to get you closer to your finisher, or at least to Tramp, and she can discard character card to get you closer to Chernabog. There is a special character that you would want to look out on the Emerald side, and that is Gogo Tomago, as she can be the difference between defeat and victory, as her ability to gain law equal to damage on a character is going to be a huge burst to close out the game. On the Amber side of the deck, characters like Daisy Duck, Lilo, and Piglet also serve the same function, providing early game pressure and board presence, with Lilo being an exceptionally persistent value. The star of Amber's side is of course Rapunzel, gifted with healing, as she does almost everything you need her to do for a relatively low cost, drawing you cards and keeping your character on the board. The two titular characters of the deck, Chernabog and Tramp Street Smart Dog, both hinges on you having a lot of characters either on the field for Tramp or in the bin for Chernabog. The deck is very character heavy with little to no action or items. Some decks also run Lady to recur some characters from the discard, allowing it to be more resilient. The gameplay, however, depends heavily on your draw. You can be hyper-aggressive and try to get lore early, or you can be more careful, laying out small characters and only quest when it's safe. However, with most of your character being quite low in value, being too careful and you risk being controlled. Don't be afraid to challenge when you need to take out certain threat, which is where Tramp Enterprising Dog can come in to help. With Chernabog in hand, it's better to trade a bit to make him as cheap as possible. Without him, keep your character around for Tramp to work his magic. While the deck isn't too afraid of removal, with our characters on the board to assist him in gaining lore, Chernabog cannot close out the game on his own. Because of this deck's biggest opposition is still Steel Song, which can efficiently remove our character, which, while doesn't affect Chernabog gameplay, heavily affect Tramp's Street Smart Dog performance. This deck is also quite draw dependent, as not drawing into either Tramp or Chernabog could really put you behind, as you would simply not have enough value against more mid-range deck. Because of this, mirror matchup or particle matchup really depends on how well you draw, as particle, if given enough time, would simply board wipe and outvalue you. After rotation, the deck is going to take some hit, especially in the form of Chernabog, one half of the deck, but there are some silver linings. The deck could shift into a full aggro instead of self-mill, with a new character in the new set and reduce cost of the next character being played, like Lady and Huey, and especially with the new Tramp to help with card draw. Another option the deck can shift to actually is Song. Without Chernabog, the deck can use Kristoff as a payoff instead. Where Kristoff doesn't have the same resilience as Chernabog, you can have many Kristoff together once you have a few songs in the discard. And Amber can help enhance the deck resilient by returning character cost 2 or 3 from the discard back with their song, while Emerald can help control the board and draw you cards. The brightest silver lining is that Steel Song and Particle or Wipe is going to be rotated as well, so fewer control options will be available. As such, control deck might shift to a more challenge-focused deck, which is more favorable to you. The deck will have to play a little bit more careful without Chernabog, but I think Song can help mitigate some of the problem. So, what do you think? Do you think the deck will survive the rotation, or do you think it will be better or worse? Thank you for watching. Follow for more Lorcana content.